Welcome to Amperial React. I got a lot of things on Diddy today. I want y'all to check it out with me. Let's get to the video.
So, huh?
Great to be with you.
Yeah,
I love you.
love you too.
Those were the words Diddy whispered into his mother Janice Combs' ear in a video clip that once seemed sweet, but has now become one of the most chilling pieces of evidence in the trial of the century. Who could have imagined that this intimate moment, a kiss on the lips between mother and son while receiving IV treatments at a spa, would open the gates of hell for the Combs family? Even Diddy himself likely never foresaw that just a few years later, what looked like a harmless video would become the centerpiece of a grotesque scandal, pulling not just his mother but also his sons into the darkest depths of the entertainment industry. Breaking news from the courtroom confirms the trial has taken a horrifying turn. Once centered solely on Diddy's crimes, the prosecution is now zeroing in on none other than his own mother, Janice Combs, the quiet yet powerful figure behind the scenes of his notorious freak-off parties that have shaken Hollywood to its core. Sources inside the courtroom report that the judge lost it after watching leaked footage unmistakably showing Janice Combs attending one of Diddy's depraved events. But that wasn't the final shock. New witness testimony has implicated Diddy's sons as well, forcing the public to reevaluate everything they thought they knew about this once-admired family, their legacy, morality, and even their humanity. Janice Combs, once seen as a devoted mother who raised Diddy.
So we now know that the 9-year-old, he was a male. Diddy lured him to Bad Boy Machine Records for a deal, a record deal. And that is how he and his buddies did what they did to the 9-year-old. And I'm not going to go into what they did, but it's horrific. And the fact that he even did that and would go so far as to do, not just have a victim that's an adult, but now have a victim that's a 9-year-old. I can't even comprehend it. I don't even know how this happened. But Diddy, I think, is sicker than any of us all know. And I feel like he can lawyer up all he wants. You know, third time's a charm. He's not getting out. He's going to be sitting in jail until his trial. Especially with all these new allegations and the 120 lawsuits that have now come forward. So I just, every day it's something new. Something new is revealed about Diddy that's grosser than the day before. I'm Peanut, and that's my perspective.
Day 13 of Diddy's trial, and Donald Trump is finally weighing in. The president was asked during a news conference in the Oval Office if he would ever consider pardoning Diddy. He gave a long-winded answer saying they used to be friends, but wrapped it up with this.
I would certainly look at the facts. If I think somebody was mistreated, whether they like me or don't like me, it wouldn't have any impact on me.
Over in the Manhattan courtroom, Diddy's former assistant was back on the stand for the second day, this time under cross-examination from Diddy's defense team. The assistant is using the pseudonym Mia and claims she was abused and sexually assaulted by Diddy. But she was branded a liar today by Diddy's attorney Brian Steele, who asked her about social media posts praising the rapper. Mia said a lot of her followers were Diddy fans and said, quote, Instagram was the place to show how great your life was, even if it was not true. Of course you post great times. When shown images and messages of her being loving towards Diddy, Mia said, quote, I was young and manipulated and eager to survive. Court is done for the week and will resume for week 4 on Monday. Make sure to listen to the Child Diddy podcast for all the latest updates.
I just read all 62 pages of the newest Diddy lawsuit, and by far this is the most disturbing thing I've ever read. This is the point where I usually tell you to grab a cocktail, but this time I'm asking you to grab some tissue and definitely your earphones. Ashley Perriman is the newest plaintiff to file suit against Diddy, but she also is suing a few others. She's also suing Christina Parham, Here she is. Shane Pierce in 3 John Does and 1 Jane Doe. And for those who don't know, John Doe and Jane Doe is a fictitious name that is used when the person's real name is unknown or being concealed. What we do know about these people is that Christina is an employee of Diddy. She's also known as his right-hand woman. And Shane, unfortunately, is someone that Ashley considered to be a friend. Back in February of 2018, Shane and Ashley met. He actually came to her rescue as she was getting into an altercation with another man at a bar. After the whole ordeal, a bunch of people are standing outside the bar talking, and then Shane decides to FaceTime Diddy, kind of showing everyone, look who my friend is, I'm important. Ashley kind of makes a face and is completely unimpressed and makes a statement on how she believes that Diddy has something to do with Tupac's death. Diddy, who's still on FaceTime, overheard the comment that Ashley made and told her she would pay for saying that. So after this whole ordeal at the bar, Shane and Ashley become friends and they keep in touch. March 2018 rolls around and Shane calls Ashley and asks her to come over to help him take his cancer medication.
So Diddy in prison on the suicide watch. Ain't no mention what you did to Biggie and Pop. Got him both killed, now you want to sit in for B9. How you know still slipping to be cocaine high. Sucking the dick, you fucking bitch. See that's what you did.
What we do here is go back.
Brace yourself, because in the footage, Sean Diddy Combs Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith appeared together in a haunting setting, marking a severe turning point in the ongoing investigation into Diddy. These images didn't just bring down the once untouchable music mogul in the public eye. They dragged names long seen as model figures of Hollywood into the storm of scandal. Immediately, public opinion split. Are Will and Jada simply collateral swept into this by association? Or do they too play a deeper role in the long-gunning web of power, sex, and silence? As anonymous witnesses began to speak out, physical evidence surfaced and murky relationships were brought into the light. A darker portrait of the entertainment industry began to emerge. And from Diddy's unraveling, Hollywood is now forced to confront a piercing question. How many more truths are still buried beneath the glow of stardom? Part 1. Diddy. From the heights of fame to the depths of legal hell. If there's any figure who once embodied the lavish lifestyle, unchecked power, and bold defiance of the American entertainment world for over 3 decades, it would be Shaw Combs, known variously as Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, or simply Diddy. Since the 1990s, he led the global commercialization of hip-hop, founded the influential Bad Boy Records, and expanded his empire into fashion, premium liquor, and media. But in September 2024, everything Diddy built collapsed overnight. A series of serious allegations led to his arrest in Los Angeles and a subsequent transfer to the infamous MDC Brooklyn Federal Detention Center. According to records from the U.S. Department of Justice, Diddy faces 8 felony charges, including racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking, coercion, and fraud in sexual acts, interstate transport for prostitution, money laundering, and obstruction of justice. The charges are not based on a single accuser, but multiple key witnesses, most notably Cassandra, Cassie Ventura, Diddy's former girlfriend of 11 years. Diddy's world turned upside down upon arrival at MDC Brooklyn, a facility that has housed figures such as R. Kelly, Ghislaine Maxwell, and even
What's the man who played glasses with Diddy during Hollywood's wildest, most extravagant nights? Why is Will Smith now standing in a courtroom pointing at his former close friend and declaring, "I can't stay silent any longer"?
It's a damn lie.
Once upon a time, Will Smith and Diddy were inseparable names, woven into the fabric of Hollywood's most legendary revelries, where potent liquor, stunning women, and hushed whispers mingled with pulsing music and dim, flickering lights. Will was there, raising glasses, bringing his son along, laughing heartily beside Diddy as if they were soulmates bound by shared secrets. Yet now, in the stark halls of a federal courtroom, he stands on the opposing side, each word of his testimony landing like a calculated shove, pushing Diddy deeper into the quagmire of legal peril. What drove Will to flip the script and lay everything bare? Is this merely a vengeful clash between two fated titans, or the desperate cry of a father, a man haunted by sights he can never unsee? As justice begins to call out the names of those once deemed untouchable, will Will Smith be the spark igniting a seismic upheaval that tears Hollywood apart, or is he just a pawn thrust forward on a crumbling chessboard of power? And Diddy, the man who once reigned at the pinnacle, can he withstand the relentless surge of truth rising against him, or will he be drowned by the very soulmate who once stood by his side?
Federal courtroom in New York became the epicenter of global attention as Will Smith, the Oscar-winning movie star, took the witness stand to confront Sean Diddy Combs. Here, Smith's testimony was not merely an accusation, but a nuclear bomb, detonating to expose Hollywood's darkest secrets, a shadowy world where power, wealth, and manipulation have long concealed heinous crimes.
I can't stay silent any longer. Sean Combs isn't human. He's the embodiment of evil, a demon who has manipulated and shattered countless lives, including mine and my son's.
Hollywood is the hurry up and wait game. So I'm running all over the studio. He's not in his dressing room. I go to the cafeteria. I'm like, but I see his car there. So I open the door to Dwayne's dressing room, and that's when I see Dwayne and having anal sex with Will. There was a couch, and Will was bent over on the couch, and Dwayne was standing up.
Those words sliced through the air like a blade. From the defendant's table, Diddy tilted his head.
All right. That's all we got. All we did today. If you like the video,